Hello, welcome to my channel, Data Driven Decisions. Today I'm just going to talk about the game I play with credit cards every year. Um, basically every summer is when I get new credit cards, and it really affects my credit score. Every summer is when my credit score is at its highest. With most credit cards, you get a 0% APR period where you don't have to pay the debt for 15 or 18 months. And I always take advantage of that, and I float that money. It's free money, it's free dollar years given to you by the credit card companies. And as long as you pay off that debt before that 0% APR period, then you're not going to pay any interest. And, that's really the number one rule of the game, is to never pay credit card interest. So, play the game with credit cards, get the rewards, get those, intro bonuses. When you spend your first 1,000, you might get a $200 cash back. Those are great. But plus the 0% APR, and, it can affect your credit scores. When you carry credit card debt, um, it can affect your credit score. However, the important factor, which is a very high impact category in the credit score, is your credit card utilization, and the magic number is 30%. You want to only use at most 30% of every single credit card balance. So it's within every credit card. It's not just holistically. They kind of give you that number holistically of what your overall credit utilization is. You of course want that to be under 30%, but for every card that matters. So if you're over 30% on just a card, that's going to have a negative impact on your credit score. So, with that game, so, you know, for credit cards this year, I got 4 new credit cards. The first one I got was a very bad credit card. I don't recommend it for anybody. I got the Apple card. There weren't any intro perks to it. There was no 0% APR period. So I just think it's a bad card. I'm barely going to use it. I think it pays for my iCloud and my YouTube Premium subscription, but I don't think I'm, you know, use it for anything else. The second card I got was really good, which was a Fidelity Rewards credit card. That's got 2% cash back on everything, so it definitely will have its value after its 0% APR period. But it gave me a really nice credit limit, I think, of like 10,000, and I don't have to pay the debt for 15 months. So on all the way till next year. I got that card a couple of months ago, and I've already put like 3,500 on it, and I think I'm good with that. I think it's about 3,000. So, like I said, the magic number is 30%. So, with a $10,000 credit limit, I only got 3,000 on that card, and I'm just going to pay the minimum balance on that card for the next 15 months. Not really use it for anything else, but just keep that money there, that balance there until the very end, and then pay it all off. Um, and what that allows me to do is grow cash, and I've needed to do that because um, I just had to pay for a roof. So I have a roof problem, and I'm getting the whole roof replaced. So I needed cash in order to pay for that, because I'm paying cash for that. So in order to accumulate cash, I needed to pay less on my credit card debt. So, I have my primary cards usually that don't, have a 0% APR. They're old cards, like my American Express card and my Citi Custom Cash. I use those 2 cards for groceries, but I'm not using those. Anytime I'm pulling out a card and paying at a store, it's a new card with a 0% APR. So I don't really touch the recurring bills. I just leave them alone. So those are on my old credit cards, and I pay those every month. But you know, a significant portion of my monthly spend, maybe like 2 grand, is going on these new cards that I don't have to pay anything on, and that is lowering, my credit card balances from the cards that I have to pay off every month. Um, so you can see how this is allowing me to grow cash. By getting a new credit card, I'm putting money on these new cards, not spending more, but just putting money on those cards, not having to pay it back. So the cards that I do pay are minimum values or low values, lesser money that I'm taking out of my checking account. So I'm growing cash, and that is allowing me to pay for my roof. So it seems like it's a game I play every summer where I get new cards. Um, I will probably from now on, refinance my loans, my truck, and my house every summer. The step one that I do is pay the lofty balances. Um, that from when the time's up on these cards that I never want to pay interest, so I pay them off, and once those are paid off, my credit score is really great. Um, and that's when I can refinance and get good rates on loans, get new credit cards. Um, and then, over time, in the winter, I do have, significant balances on these credit cards that I'm not paying. So it seems to take a hit on my credit score. But, I'm recently learning that this 30% rule, if I follow that, it shouldn't make a big ding on my credit score. Um, you know, um, but I hope you understand, the simple way of how I float credit cards and how I use it to grow cash. It seems to be a game most people play. Um, you don't want to spend more on credit cards, but you want to use them for the advantages they give you. The rewards, the 0% APR, and then the intro cash back. It does add up to a significant amount. I make about $2,500 in rewards, credit card rewards every year. So, that's pretty good. So it adds up, and you know, that's that. So thank you. Bye. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Just talking about this credit card game that I'm playing. I just kind of want to show you graphically, how this game works. If you just look at my total credit card debt right here, you see how in April it was at its highest of negative $34,000. But for the next couple months, I paid down that debt. I was taking advantage of 0% APR, um, but it was taking a hit to my credit score. Um, if I go to the correlation plot, we're looking at the correlation between my credit card balance and my credit score. So you can see how credit score and my credit card ending balance are related. In in blue, you see the ending balance, and when it was at its lowest, the lowest or highest balance, $34,000. That's when I had a low credit score. But lo and behold, the month after I paid off most of that debt, you see my credit score went through the roof, and it got really high last month, in July. However, it has lowered on account of I have gotten new credit cards, and I've refinanced my auto and my house loan. So all those new inquiries and new accounts are taking a hit to my credit score, but that's okay. I made use of a high credit score by getting new credit cards. And if I go back to the accounts dashboard, we're in August right now, and I got 2 new credit cards, and the one I'm really excited about is my Bank of America card that has a $24,000 limit. That means I can put about 10 grand on it and still be under 30% utilization, which I plan to do. So, with this credit card game, I'm going to be putting a lot of money on my new cards, my Discover Chrome and my Bank of America Unlimited, and I'm not putting money on my my old cards, such as my American Express and my City Custom Cash, I'm barely putting money on those, so I'm not paying much in credit card payments. So if I go over to my cash flow dashboard for Bank of America, the total credit card payment, in June I paid a lot. I paid about $5,500, but as of late, due to the fact that all these old cars, I'm not putting too much, I'm not spending much money on it. My credit card payments aren't that big, and that is allowing me to go cash. And what's most important is I have these two big expenses right here. One that I just paid, and I have another big expense. This is for my roof, so I just need to afford that. And this lets me hone in on the future a little bit in the future, and just make sure that my cash flow is good for my Bank of America. This is my primary checking account. This is where my income goes in, and this is where all my payments go out of. I want it to be in one account, and I use this tool to track how everything's going to look after all the payments are made. What's most important is I got to keep $500 in savings and $1,500 minimum in checking, or else I have to pay a fee. So I always want um, that to work out. And as you can see, we're just in this column right here, 8/15. That's today's date. I have it forecasted for the next 2 months, but we're looking in pretty good shape. I'll be able to make that second roof payment, and it's because I'm kind of playing this credit card game. I'm with these new cards. So yeah, if we just hone in on credit cards, I'm gonna accumulate a greater balance in my credit cards over the near future, but nothing too crazy, not like it was. I do want to just be under 30% for all credit cards. So I do want to keep a good credit score, because I think interest rates are going to lower and lower and lower over the next few years. And I want to take advantage of those lower rates. And the best, I need a good credit score to get the best rate. So, instead of, you know, taken the max of a 0% APR, such as what I did for my first Bank of America card. It had $10,000 credit limit, and I pretty much used all 10,000, and I let it take a hit to my credit score. I'm not going to do that anymore with this new Bank of America card I have. It has a 24,000 limit. I'm only going to put at most 10 grand on it, so it stays under 30% utilization, and do that with all my other cards. So, you know, and this year I'm going to continue playing the credit card game. Next summer I'll probably get a couple new credit cards and take advantage of new APRs, and that will help me pay for the these this year's credit cards. But at some point I want to stop doing this. I'm playing with debt. Um, I haven't been burned yet. I haven't really had to pay ever interest on credit cards, but maybe if bad things happen, I could get stuck playing this game. I want to, you know, at one point stop playing this game. I have 14 credit cards, and I think that's plenty for anybody. So, um, it's time for me to grow my accounts and grow time on my accounts and just let everything settle. But anyway, that's kind of the game I'm playing. So I hope you like it. Thanks.